Good afternoon, my name is Jeremy Bull, and today I'm going to show you how to customize a grid in E1. So first thing you want to do when you log into E1, over on the left side of the screen, you want to click on OP Main Menu, and you want to click on Inquiry Menu, and you can customize the grids in any of these modules. Today I'm going to show you how to customize the grid in Accounts Payable. So you want to click on Accounts Payable Inquiry, and then Supplier Ledger Inquiry. So what we mean by customizing the grid is whenever you pull up information in under this module, so I'm going to pull up a vendor here. Today we'll look at Sam's Club. So here in the bottom portion you can see all their invoice information. So sometimes when you're looking at this information down here, sometimes the grid won't be set up exactly like you want to see it. Sometimes these dates will be cut off. Sometimes you'll have a lot of columns that you just don't care to look at because they don't give you any relevant information. So what you can do is you can actually click on this right here in the middle. It says Customize Grid. And then you can click on Create. And up here at the top, the system will let you create pretty much as many different kinds of, as many versions of grids as you want to create. So today I'm just going to, I'll just type in, oops, I can type in my name here. Just so you know the different types of grids, you can name them different things. So this first box here, available columns, this on the other screen, all those columns that we saw, this is all the available ones that you could ever have. And then over here to the right, this is all of them that you currently see on that screen. So if you wanted to, let's say you didn't want any of these columns. What you can do is you can click on this Remove All. And if we were to go back to the other screen, you would just see a blank screen. There wouldn't be any information in there. So I'm just going to pick a few here. I'm going to pick the invoice date. I'm going to pick the GL date. I'm going to pick the gross amount. So when we go back to the other screen, you're only going to see these three columns when we're over there. Now let's say for some reason I put these over here, but I actually want this gross amount to be the very first column on the previous screen. So what you can do, I've already highlighted it here. I can come down here and I can click this up arrow. What it does is it moves it up to the top here, so it'll be my very first column. Like I mentioned before, sometimes these dates are not wide enough to show the entire date. Sometimes it cuts off the year. So what you can do, I've highlighted invoice date. Right down here it shows how wide that column currently is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over here, and I'm going to change that. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. I'm going to change it to, let's change it to 120, 120% of what it normally is. And so you can see when I click on this Update Style button, if you watch up here, you'll notice that this column gets wider. So now you can see it's wide enough to should be wide enough now to show the entire date. Now another thing you can do is you can change the color of the column. You can change the color of the text. That's not something I've experimented with too much, but a lot of people have. So let's say, for instance, I want to make this GL date. I want to make the text in that. I want to make it red. So then we'll scroll down just a little bit further. So these columns down here, this is how the data is going to be sequenced. Personally, since the system shows information from 1995 all the way to current 2012, I really don't care about 1995 information. So what I do is I click on this Remove All button, and then I just choose GL date. So this is how it's going to sort it on the other screen. And then it brings it over as ascending, but actually I want it descending, so I come down here and click on the ascending button, which you can see puts a D up here, which means descending. So once you're done with that, you can click on the OK button. Then you can close. So now you can see all we have are just these three columns. And one of the first steps was I moved this gross amount to the top of that box, and so that put it the first column here. It looks like I need to probably widen GL date just a little bit because this is cutting it off just a little bit. And as you can see here, it kind of made that GL column red. I changed it to that red color. Now, one thing you don't have to worry about is, let's say I don't like the way this is set up. You can always come over here to this drop-down menu, and all the other versions that I've ever made are right in here. Or if I just want to go back to the default, I can click on this Show All Columns. You can never get rid of that. And takes just a minute, but then it brings back all that information from the way the system was originally set up. And once you've customized the grid, the system automatically saves it. So every time you log in, it'll always be in here. So you don't have to do this every time you log in. It saves it each and every time. And so for any of these modules, any screen that you come into, doesn't matter if it's in fixed assets or general ledger, you can customize any screen. You can remove columns, you can add columns, widen them, change colors. So once you're done in here, you can come up to the top of the screen, click on the Close button, the red X. Brings you back to the Welcome screen. So that's how you customize grids in E1. If you have any questions, please give me a call at 895-6156. Thank you.